This man can't play piano, but this man just played piano. One hand on the keys, he plays with charm and ease. Two hands got the harmonies, beat so sweet, so caramely. Two men can't play piano, but two men just played piano. Turned it from a bland to a grand piano. Nary a plan these men can't handle. This man can't hold a candle to the man or the men that play piano. But he's in the back with a waxy handful, waxing in the back like a sassy mantle. This man can't play piano, but this man just played piano.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Cold drops are back.
Next to him, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Hey,
yo. And over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Great to have the cold open back in our lives. Hello to everybody on YouTube. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Share the show. Comment away. If you're a podcast listener, leave a 5-star rating and review. Mm-hmm. I would also share that show.
Send it to your friends.
How would you do that?
There's a share tab, I think.
Is there?
There definitely is
on-
for Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
I assume Spotify has something.
No, you're
similar.
right.
They have one. They have one. Here's
right.
the link. Here
Okay,
you go.
get to sharing the show. It's going to be a banger. Also, if you're in Vegas on Friday, which is 2 days from today,
Whoa.
we're going to be live at the Sportsbook at Mandalay Bay. July 11th, that's Friday, 4 p.m. show. Doors open at 3:30. I think the casino's open all the time. Unless we're installing a door in the Sportsbook.
Yeah.
I guess that just means
I packed a door.
Just show up around 3:30
Yeah.
if you want.
I'm not sure what they mean by doors open. but-
We have our own separate room in the sports book. It sure sounds like.
no,
I don't think
no,
so.
we don't.
I don't think so. We're going to be in the middle, close to the bar of the sports book.
Yeah, so the chair's open at 3:30. I mean, what does that mean?
Okay, yeah, that's I guess. That's what
I
I'm
just hope
wondering.
there's like
Hotel
a couple of crusty gamblers at the bar, sort of like leaning over and saying, "What is happening behind me?"
absolutely.
Yeah,
Of course.
We got to
They're
pray
going to love
that
it. They'll be sharing it with their friends.
100%.
All right, so hopefully we'll see you there. If you're flying out for Summer League or if you live in the area, we're going to have a blast. We have something very fun in store for this Friday live show. And we do have plans, I think, JD, right, to flip it into a podcast, potentially a video podcast on YouTube as well.
100% on the audio. Yeah, 75% on the video.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll
on
see
the
what
vid.
the setup is.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, we got a lot to talk about here. I know on Monday we did have a trade. It happened during our show, so we sort of had to immediately react. But the Clippers, Jazz, and Heat agreed to a 3-team deal that sent Norman Powell to Miami, John Collins to the Clippers, and then Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and a 27 Clippers second-round pick to the Utah Jazz. Again, it was breaking news for us. But now that you've had a little bit more time to think about it, any new thoughts or who's come out on top on this, or are you confused by anything?
Well, I'm excited for the Miami Heat just to have another option on the offensive end because Norman Powell can be that secondary guy, catches and shoots. That catch and shoot percentage from last year, it's very good. 45% catch and shoot. Now, he can run a lot of things for him. You know, you run a little ISO, you run a little dribble handoff for him. Now, he's not your primary guy, that's for sure. It's going through Tyler Hero, but the mid-range was there for him. Just look at the starting lineup now with him beside Hero in the backcourt. It's Wiggins, Khalil Ware, I assume, at the 4, plus Bam Adebayo. Things look a lot better. So we got an old man here in Norm Powell. He's getting a little older.
Yeah, this is basically why this trade happened, right? Like all the reporting says both Powell and John Collins were unlikely to sign extensions with their respective teams. So it's, that's the Clippers deciding, he is a bit older. Maybe we don't want to give Norman an extension. Same, we knew Utah obviously wasn't going to sign John Collins for their plans.
Even though Powell had a good year last year, really good year last year.
An absolutely incredible year. For a
him.
guy his age to be one of the best shooters in the NBA for a good chunk of the season, yes. I'm a little concerned. He's got Harden setting him up a lot of the time. It's obviously Kawhi is the main factor of that offense when he was there with him. Different scenario in Miami, like Tyler Hero is sort of the point guard, so we'll see how that works. But it does make sense. Like this is what we said. It's like not a bad trade for all three teams.
No, this is well, I don't know if I think this is a good trade for the Jazz, but I think this is definitely a win for the Heat and for the Clippers. They're basically getting Norm Powell for free. It's for the cost of Kyle Anderson, a backup for them, and then Kevin Love, who's greatest import to the Miami Heat, I think, is posting memes on Instagram. This guy's at the end of his career. It did cost him a second-round pick, but the Heat trade away first-round picks like it doesn't matter, so they don't care about a second-round pick. They also lost Duncan Robinson earlier this year, so it's a Duncan Robinson replacement as a three-point shooter and an upgrade on whatever they thought they were going to be getting from Terry Rozier when they traded for him from the Charlotte Hornets. I also like that Norm Powell plays downhill, assuming the Heat will end up paying him. I think this is good. I think it was Zach Lowe say no harm, no foul, bringing in Norm Powell. Ooh. So then I was like, no Norm, no Powell. I don't know how that works, but it sounds like a saying, right?
Right.
Definitely sounds like a saying. My favorite get in this 3-team trade, though, is the Clippers. I think getting John Collins is awesome for them. He is going to thrive with James Harden as the point guard. He hasn't had a setup man like that since leaving Atlanta. And, James Harden and Trae Young are both lob throwers, and John Collins was catching lobs here in the A way back when. So I think that's good for him. I think he can play alongside Zubats, perhaps in the starting lineup. Maybe he takes the job from Nikola Batum at some point, though Ty Lue has really liked what Batum brings them defensively, but he can definitely play next to a big guy in Zubats, who would be the role man. John Collins can be the stretch guy in those scenarios. Yeah. And then when Brook Lopez comes in, if Collins is also a bench player, Collins becomes the role guy, and Lopez is the stretch guy. The Clippers were a small ball team. They didn't want to have to play Kawhi Leonard at the 4 for the whole season, so this is smart of them to get John Collins, especially if they weren't going to pay Norm Powell, because it looks like right now the Clippers are just trying to line everything up for the end of the 2027 season, where they can be an aggressive team. LeBron James probably out of LA. At that point, maybe the Clippers become the attractive destination. That's weird to say out loud. I don't know if it'll ever be true, but that's what they're thinking at the very least. So this is a good deal for those two teams. And the Jazz, they're just giving away their veterans at this point. Jordan Clarkson, cut him. Colin Sexton included a pick to send him away, and now John Collins, they're getting back a second-round pick, so they're just clearing the way for all of their young white guys to play.
Yeah, they got to try and be bad again so they can get the number 1 pick, hopefully, because it didn't work with Cooper Flagg, unfortunately, but they just want to be bad.
And they will be, I think.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Yes.
I will be interested with John Collins on this Clippers team, especially with Brook Lopez out there, because then there's no clogging of the lane. Because Zubats will clog the lane a little bit because that's where John Collins thrives. I think he'll have a couple baskets a game in the fast break. That's what he does. A couple 3-point attempts per game and a couple with a roll opportunity with James Harden especially. But I do like to see him with a stretch 5 primarily more than Zubats. So he'll be out there. They got bigger. That's for sure. This puts more ball handling pressure on James Harden. He's going to do it again one more time. And Kawhi has to play again. That's the interesting part to me. Is Kawhi going to start the season playing games? He didn't last year. He started in January. It was great. It worked out really well.
And Norman Powell was amazing.
Yeah, and he was amazing during that time.
Kawhi.
And he fell off when Kawhi came back.
Yeah.
He also got injured, and he is 32. So there is the questions about Norm, but he is signed for just 1 more year. So this is whether it's the Heat saying, here, just 1 more year of this guy, and I don't know, are they the Damian Lillard team for beyond that? Like Dame wanted to go there in the first place. We'll see. But they are better in the Eastern Conference. There's no doubt.
Right. The Clippers also, we talked about it. They need another guard, and who's going to be that guard? They have the $5.3 million non-tax mid-level left to use, and our guy at The Athletic, Law Murray, who covers the Clippers, he's reporting yesterday that as long as Bradley Beal secures a contract buyout with the Phoenix Suns, the Clippers are the likely leaders to sign him. We were debating maybe Chris Paul would be that guy that they could also use, another ball handler, but it feels like at this point it's going to be one of those two guys, be it Beal if that happens with the buyout in Phoenix, or maybe Chris Paul. But that's what Law Murray says.
Yeah, and it makes sense because there's a hole at the 2 guard. James Harden plays a ton, and he plays a lot of minutes when he's on the court, and he is the point guard for the Clippers, was the All-NBA last season. A great table setter, especially at this point in his career, maybe less as a scorer. So I think going to the Clippers is probably Beal's best chance to compete. But I also look at it, I'm like, come on, bro. You're going to be the 3rd man again. And you're not going to be the primarily ball handler, so enjoy standing in the corner a whole bunch more. He would have a better time, I think, and have more opportunity to stretch his game and show people what he is still capable of if he goes to Milwaukee, and he's the lead perimeter guy there. I understand why he would choose the Clippers. It's in LA. It's much closer, and they are closer, I think, to competing than Milwaukee is at this point, but it definitely feels like he's going to be trapped into being the scapegoat there again if he ends up on the Clippers. But I mean, $5 million, you don't care as much as $50 million like the Suns do.
That's a great point. That's a good point. I think the Clippers, or maybe this decision to move off of Powell as well, has to do with Bogdanovich coming over, right? And playing really well for them after he struggled to hit a shot in Atlanta. But I remember him playing solid for the Clippers. He could at least shoot again. So maybe they're looking at him like, okay, well, you don't need both of these guys, sort of. We can live with him, and especially if we do bring in Beal, we maybe feel better about our guards and our shooting and stuff like that. To go now with the big guys, Collins, Brook, Zubats, and all that, and Kawhi still as sort of a big. We had another trade. Last night, the Spurs acquired Kelly Olynyk from the Washington Wizards for Malachi Branham, Blake Wesley, and a 22nd second-round pick. That pick will be the least favorable of the selections from Dallas, Philly, or OKC. So it could very well be, in fact, it might be the last pick of the 2026 NBA draft if it's the OKC one, the least favorable one. But Kelly Olynyk not staying in Washington tasks, and instead the Spurs get another big. Everybody's getting bigs here. They obviously have Wembanyama, they got Luke Cornett, and now they had Kelly Olynyk.
Kelly Olynyk. Can't wait to see the passing with Victor Wembanyama. How many passes will Olynyk set up for Victor Wembanyama? A few. At least a few assists of Kelly to Victor. So that'll be fun. Kelly Olynyk is a little Kelly Olynyk. He's not a great defensive player anymore. That's not his thing. But I think it is insurance because they got Luke Cornett, who has had some very durable seasons, the last 3 seasons. But there's been several seasons where he's missed time. And last year where he played 18.6 minutes per game was his most of his career, period. And he's hitting 30. It's his birthday in 6 days.
Luke Cornett?
Yeah, Luke Cornett. So happy early birthday. You got another guy to take some minutes from you. And again, 18.6 minutes is his most. He needs somebody besides Victor to play as this big. That's their new rotation, really, of their bigs. It's good for them, and the Wizards are saving money and getting the potentially 60th pick, as you said.
Any thoughts on this one?
I mean, Olynyk's like a good 3rd or 4th pick.
Yeah.
And they've got a pretty nice rotation now. Wemby and Cornett alongside Harrison Barnes, Jeremy Sohan, and now Olynyk. He makes 3-pointers when he's open. He moves the ball. He rebounds. He's a veteran. He's a tough guy. Like, these are just good veteran qualities to have around. They're not looking to get a ton out of Olynyk, but Blake Wesley, Malachi Branham, these guys aren't playing for the Spurs at this point in their rebuild. No. They traded for De'Aaron Fox. They drafted Dylan Harper and then Carter Bryant, all guys who will be ahead of these middling picks that the Spurs had when they went into the tank in the first place. Cool. Yeah. Kelly Olynyk, nobody's ever mad about getting Kelly Olynyk. I was doing a lot of Olynyk research today. Okay. So I saved this one for you guys. His basketball reference nickname.
Horseface.
No, but it does have to do with his appearance.
Oh.
It's long hair?
Yes, yes.
Oh.
Long hair.
Horse hair?
Lunch lady.
No.
Oh my God.
What?
That's a basketball reference. He has one nickname listed, Lunch Lady. And I'm assuming it's because he wears the hairband to keep it out of the food.
But I thought maybe it would have to do with his hat because he always wears a backwards hat. He got married in a backwards hat.
There's nothing about that. That is surprising.
Yeah, that's lunch ladies wear that headband.
Yeah, I mean
hair.
Well, they wear a hair net. Yeah. He should ball in a hair
He
net.
should play in a hair net. That would be pretty awesome. I also found out that apparently Washington Wizards fans are very excited about this trade because they hate Kelly Olynyk. He hurt Kelly Oubre in the playoffs back when Olynyk was playing for the Celtics.
Okay.
And Oubre was playing for the Wizards. He hurts him in like game 5 or something like that. This is that playoffs when Kelly Olynyk was hurting everybody, basically. Yeah. And then in game 7 of the second round, this series that they're in, Celtics versus Wizards, Kelly Olynyk has 26 points off the bench. Still to this day, his career playoff high. So that's really why the Wizards fans hate Kelly Olynyk, because he was the guy that had a random awesome game 7 and bounced them from the playoffs when they were in the second round. It was like their best chance to go to the conference finals, except they got Olynyked. So now their Reddit is like, awesome. Did not want to have to root for this guy. Now we got Blake Weasley. He's a Gryffindor now that he's a Wizard. There's 500 guys on the Wizards this season.
How many of these guys are even going to be on this team? I know they were late first round picks, both these guys coming over to Washington. But they have so many guys. Like, it's insane how many guys they have on their roster right now. So I don't know. I like this work by San Antonio. Like you guys said, just getting the third big there. Hollinger did note too. He said, I'm guessing the Jeremy Sohan at backup 5 experiment is officially toast. That's probably the right move. You now have these guys in Cornet and here in Kelly Olynyk to do that. And the Spurs are $12.5 million from the tax line with at least 2 open roster spots still to fill. And they also have their biannual exception. So they're probably not done, at least in terms of adding a guy or two here, and are so far under that they can. But
yeah, the Wizards, it's saving money because of Olynyk's contract, but for the Spurs, they're not really paying too many people.
No.
Victor's still obviously on his rookie contract. De'Aaron Fox getting paid a decent amount, but that's basically about it. Yeah, it's nice to flash back to those Wizards days. I thought they were going to be good. That was their best run.
yeah,
The 7-game series against Boston, that was really close. But also the year that Kelly Olynyk pulled Kevin Love's arm out of his shoulder socket there. Kevin Love got hurt for the Cavs. Yeah, that was a good year for not playing Kelly Olynyk, I would say. I mean, that was tough.
The reckless man, the lunch lady.
All right, moving on. That's enough on that trade. We've got some guys signing some max extensions here. So the Orlando Magic and Paolo Banchero have agreed to a 5-year maximum salary contract extension worth approximately $239 million. The contract extension will begin with the 26-27 season and includes a player option for the final season of the deal. That was a little eye-opening to some. And then we just got another one, I don't know, about an hour ago, maybe 30 minutes ago before we go live here, that Thunder star Chet Holmgren has also agreed to a fully guaranteed 5-year maximum rookie contract extension. That one, again, 239, but could reach 250. And there's all these incentives of whatever you do in terms of all NBA selections and MVPs and blah, blah, blah. So any thoughts, TK, can start with you on Paolo and Chet Holmgren here getting the max extensions?
Mostly about Paolo. I think it's interesting, definitely, that he got the first player option on a rookie max extension since Luka Doncic and Trae Young got theirs after their rookie contracts were over. So, I think that makes Paolo eligible to be an unrestricted free agent when he's 27 years old.
Yeah.
Which is the prime of his career. Orlando will still be in the driver's seat to be able to sign him at that point, assuming he hits all of these crazy things that boost his contract even up and up and up, because he could have been an all-NBA player last season, had a great start to the season before going down with that oblique injury. He came back, didn't look like the same player. To me, Paolo is a guy I love watching. He's got an incredible combination of like size and skill that you don't see from a lot of guys. It's like him, LeBron, and Giannis that do the kinds of things he does. I'm not saying he's at this level of player yet, but the way he gets his offense going is very similar. The efficiency is going to be the next step. So that either means improving his shooting or improving his shot selection,
right,
and definitely figuring out a way to limit turnovers. His third season was kind of similar to Cade Cunningham's third season, though Cunningham did have an injury in between. Cunningham took a huge jump when they added a lot of shooting around him last season for the Pistons, so maybe Desmond Bane helps in that regard for Paolo Banchero, but he can definitely become a more efficient player. But I think the way he's got that brute strength and like just his passing ability, his ability to get any shot can kind of be a hindrance because he kind of can take any shot, which, it means he takes a lot of bad shots at times. But the my main takeaway is that the clock is ticking for the Magic now. Look at the difference where the Thunder are and where the Magic are. The Thunder won a title before they had to pay everybody. That's okay. Now it's like, how do we do it again?
Yeah.
Whereas the Magic now, it's like they've got their top 4 guys signed through the 2029 season. It's like do or die time for Orlando. They have not yet won a playoff series.
Right.
Just because, as we're seeing with the Celtics, as we kind of even saw with like the Indiana Pacers, eventually there comes a time when you have to make decisions on these big contracts because of the second apron, and that's why we saw the Celtics break up. There's not a way to keep 4 guys signed for a long time on these massive deals. So Franz's extension is kicking in, Paolo's kicks in next year, Bane's already getting paid. Suggs.
He makes $30 million.
Exactly. He is making a ton. His contract is declining, so when you're looking at it, you're like, that's probably the guy that's gone at some point in the future. You also look at the guy they drafted, Jace Richardson. He's a backup point guard. You can see him possibly slotting in there, but the Magic got to figure out a way to win with Franz and Paolo both signed to these massive deals. That's why they did the deal for Desmond Bane, because they're not going to have a chance to really improve their team a lot going forward. So Paolo getting better is their next step in their development as well as his.
Yeah, he is going to get better. I have tons of faith, and he was getting better before that injury sent him back in year 3. He got better, from year 2 to from year 1 to year 2, and then it started in year 3 where he looked great, and he only played half the season last season, so that kind of took out his flow. Now he did get better free throw line percentages went up, but in the mid range and 3-point line, they dropped back. 37.5 from mid range, 32% from 3, but he will get better with those shooters and ball handlers. Suggs was out last year for a lot of it. You need anybody out there plus Desmond Bane. So those percentages should go up. He will get better. Period. And the window is kind of closing for them to get better if they want to keep him around. But they were getting better, and I think they will be better.
They have to be healthy. I mean, that was
exactly.
the biggest knock last year, that no one was playing all together. But like you just went through it. They have not 4 guys on max deals, but a lot of money to this nucleus of these 4 guys that have done nothing yet, of course. And it means some of these guys just coming in and Bane, but like they need to see some success here at least. We're not saying they got to win a championship next year, but I think it's got to be like win a playoff series, maybe 2, and then you're feeling better, and then you can work around the fringes to like level up, because these guys should just get better too with the age of Paolo in front. They're all actually quite young. I mean, Bane's the oldest guy, but I think he's just hitting his prime, right? Is he 27, 28, something like that? So there's still room to grow, and hopefully they will. Yeah. And any thoughts on Chet here? He doesn't get the player option. And so people are saying, I mean, I guess J-Dub is probably going to sign the exact same type of extension. And you want to talk about getting expensive once those kick in? Like, those guys will be like $750 million for Shea, J-Dub, and Chet when they kick in, but also a no-brainer because they're so talented and won a title.
Absolutely, and they showed that they can be resilient. I loved watching Chet have a bad first quarter where things weren't going, but he showed he was persistent in the second and third quarter and fourth quarter. Even when he wasn't scoring, he was doing what he needed to do out there. Play D, block shots, and do everything he needed to do. So I don't think he's going anywhere, even though he's only played a year and a half of his 3 seasons since he was drafted. He was injured in his entire first year, then he was healthy, then he missed so much time last year. So, we'll get to a question a little later on talking about how resilient his body is and if he's tough enough and big enough. Obviously, OKC believes that he is, and watching him in this postseason, it was clear.
He had 5 blocks in Game 7.
Yeah,
he had a ton of blocks in the finals.
And his offense is going to get better.
Yeah.
So there's that part, too. So, yes, OKC's scary. There's no doubt.
A little injury talk. The Mavericks reportedly had optimism that Kyrie might resume playing as soon as January, but the star guard urged caution during a recent live stream. Responding to questions from viewers, Kyrie refused to guarantee that he'll be available by the playoffs. Quote, this is Kyrie, "Don't hold your breath on that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean I won't be back. It's just, I don't want to make any predictions on when I'm going to be back. I just want to be back 150,000% better." Easily, Wesley 2 Scoops Berry. That's an American Gladiator reference for you. If you got that, you're old like me. Kyrie trying to like slow play this. Is this probably the right move? I'm not a guarantee that I'll be back next year for the playoffs.
Well, at first I just read this quote like most people do. They're not going to go listen to him. And it was a gaming video. I guess he's twitching or something. I don't know. At first I thought,
screaming somehow.
Yeah.
At first I thought, what do you know, Kyrie? I mean, are you speaking to another life form? Because sometimes, Kyrie does some things. Because he got hurt March 3rd, and that would mean literally 14 plus months of him being out. That's long. But after going to watch him talk on his Rode mic, that was a nice mic.
Great quality.
It was really great quality. Yeah. All he was basically saying was, let's chill. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to get healthy again. So that's that. I mean, there's not much more than that. And he's not speaking to another life form. It's just he's talking and saying, I just want to be healthy, and I don't want to give any sort of date. Because maybe it'll be early. But it's possible. That's
He's
long
just
time.
Lowering expectations.
Exactly. Let's not talk about it. He's smart enough.
He tore his ACL on March 3rd. He had surgery to repair that knee closer to the end of the month. And you're right, Tass, recovery times for ACL injuries, they do vary a little bit, but they average, I guess, approximately a little under a year. So, you could see him back around that February, March time. And maybe we will. But he's saying, hey, let's not put the pressure on it, TK.
I would argue that Kyrie Irving's health is the most important health on anybody of the Mavericks. Even more so than Anthony Davis, who just needs to start wearing goggles and maybe he'll be fine.
Yeah, he just went under undergo a procedure for his what was it, a detached retina?
Detached retina.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But he's going to be healthy. They
Yeah,
say
he'll
for
be
training
fine.
camp.
But this guy gets poked in the eye all the time.
Yeah.
Looks cool in goggles. Simple solution, if you ask me. Nonetheless, you look at the guard room for the Dallas Mavericks, and it's Kyrie Irving and it's then D'Angelo Russell on a $6 million deal and two-way guys. It's not very inspiring, but 2 through 5 on the depth chart is pretty solid for Dallas. So they absolutely need Kyrie to be healthy. I think the plan this season is D'Angelo Russell, do as much as you can. Don't kill us until Kyrie gets back. They're not going to rush him back into anything so that he re-aggravates an injury or has something else befall him. So I think if Kyrie comes back, even at the end of March, gets a couple of weeks in before the playoffs, I think that would be a win for Dallas to get him back in time for the postseason, at least have one go through, assuming they make it with Cooper and AD and all the other guys that they're going to be bringing back. I think it makes sense. And then kind of the next season when Kyrie is yet another year older, 34 at that point, that is really the season that Dallas should be trying to win when Cooper is into his second NBA season. They've actually got some court time together. I think it makes sense. There's no reason to rush Kyrie back, but they do still have to make the playoffs. In the meantime, it means Anthony Davis, you do have to stay healthy during the regular season because you're the best player on this team, at least for this year. So missing Kyrie's a big time deal for Dallas. He was awesome for him last year. He was an all-star. He was almost a 50-40-90 guy. Like, it's kind of forgotten how good Kyrie is because the Dallas team looks weird now that they traded Luka Doncic. But if he comes back, they at least have a chance in some of these playoff series.
I always wonder if there's like a sweet spot in regards to the Mavericks record if he were to come back. And what I mean by that is like if let's say they struggle, right? Because maybe D'Angelo Russell is not cutting it as your point guard, maybe AD misses time, maybe it takes Cooper Flag a while to get used to the NBA game, who knows? So you're not going to probably bring him back if like you're sort of out of contention. But then the flip side of that is like, let's say they sort of like kick ass here and it actually clicks really well and Cooper Flag is like the real deal right away, pairs nicely with AD. Then you're like, I wonder if you get like, you're almost too good where you're like, I don't know, do we want to try and bring him back and ruin the flow? Like, I don't know, maybe that's not an issue and you would like, yeah, just bring him back. But I feel like it's somewhere in the middle. It's like, we're good, but man, we could be really special if he's okay and he's at 150,000%, that knee's okay, and then you bring him back. I'll just be watching their record when we get into sort of February and March and where they are in terms of the playoff contention or play-in contention and all that. I think it might have an impact, but then again, maybe it's just his confidence in the knee and he feels good to go.
I hear what you're saying. I will say this about the Western Conference being as tough as it is. There will be a lot of teams, just like last year, that are in that sort of 50-win mark that aren't kicking ass.
Yeah.
Because the only team that's really going to kick ass is the Thunder, and then there's just so many good teams now. In general, so they'll still be good. I know we all ridicule Nico Harrison and what he did. That being said, we named a bunch of talented guys on the Mavericks, and Derek Lively was also hurt last year. Here he comes back healthy, so they do have a lot of players. The guard spot is definitely a concern. We'll see what D'Angelo Russell can do in terms of carrying this team without Kyrie. There's no doubt.
They went 39-43 last year. If you had to guess right now, I mean, we're in the middle of summer. Like, what do you expect the Mavericks to do here under the assumption that Kyrie doesn't play until the end of the season, let's say? Like, do you think they're the exact same? You think they're a plus 500 team?
I think they're better.
I think they're better.
Yeah, I assume Anthony Davis is going to play. Now, the fact that he just had a detached retina surgery here in July, if you read into it, I do think this is fairly good news in that he didn't have to do it immediately. I mean, he played almost 3 months ago. He played mid-April, and they didn't undergo the surgery. Now, I guess you can lean both ways. You can say, well, they just found this thing out and they just had to do it right here, right now. Or maybe they knew long-term in the summer, we're going to be doing something like this. So you can do it whenever you want. Anthony, chill out for 2.5 months and come on back and do it and get it done. So I think that's more where I lean, that he'll be back. And he is still one of the best players in the league. So I think they'll be a better than 500 team.
Do you have to stay out of the pool after you have surgery for a detached retina? I would assume you do.
Yeah, probably.
Right?
Or at least don't go under.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, but I mean, I'd worry about someone splashing me in the eye or something like that.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
So I'm just saying, my point is, like,
sort of
maybe put it off a little bit, get a little summertime.
That could be.
Get a little pool time, get a little beach time. Yeah, exactly.
July.
And then do it. Yeah. Anyway.
Probably likely.
All right, final piece of news here before we hit the beach. The NBA is changing the way it accounts for end of quarter desperation shots. Starting tomorrow, at least at Summer League, shot attempts in the last 3 seconds of a period, at least the first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter, from basically behind half court will no longer count toward a player's shot attempt total unless it goes in. Instead, an unsuccessful end of quarter heave will be recorded as a team miss to help protect players' percentages. And I guess, Trey, encourage them to let it fly, chuck away, boys.
Mike Miller.
Yeah.
Chuck away, boys, indeed.
And again, I think if this goes well in Summer League, we might see this in the NBA at the start of the season. I've seen like mixed reporting on that. Some saying it was like a good to go in the NBA this season. I saw others saying it actually is Summer League first, and then we'll go from there. I don't see what would be possibly wrong with this. We saw it in the G League. The data says heaves went up. So people did let it fly more. So maybe we see this here in the NBA. But any thoughts on this, Trey?
Not a ton. I'll tell you my favorite thing is that because of that graphic, I now know that the edge of the center circle is 36 feet away. That helps me a lot for depth perception on stuff because I have no idea. Anytime a shot is from like more than 30 feet, I was like, that must have been 50 plus. But no, 36 to the 3-point line, that's available. This apparently is already happening in the other summer leagues that are going down. I don't know if it has happened more than this, but I did go through some play-by-play data. Jemai Mashak of the Grizzlies had a heave. It went down at the end of the second quarter in the play-by-play data as a heave attempt, a team field goal. But I couldn't find it anywhere in the final box score. So I don't know how that
still
goes
figuring
down.
it out.
Yeah,
maybe.
they're still or where to notate it, I suppose.
Schumann, let us know. Where's that going? Yeah.
Where does it go? It makes sense that it's not for, what was his name?
Jemai Mashak.
Okay, it makes sense it's not for Mashak, but where do you throw it in?
Yeah.
Jemai Mishot.
Jemai Mashak.
No, Mishot.
Mishot. Mashak. I don't know.
Jemai Mishot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, is that Jemai Mishot or Jayor Mishot? Or
Team Mishot.
Yeah. Oh, is this for prop bets or spreads?
Well, that's what people were wondering, Tass. I saw that.
Not to go full on conspiracy theory, but it will if it increases heaves, that's just good for bettors. In general, like you will see a shot go up and potentially your spread gets covered, or
not if you're on the opposite side of the spread.
I know, but there's more drama.
Sure.
Yeah, like
Write the story when the ball is in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The cover that's going to cover the spread. That's going to cover this guy's prop.
Right.
Or yes or no. Cover spread on either side. So it's just more drama. It's good for the social media of betting. I will say Nikola Jokic is the guy that is going to lead the league in heat percentage.
He already does.
He already does, yeah. He hit 2 last year. It was awesome. He almost hit a third with a hook shot. Like, the guy is a monster.
Didn't he have 26 attempts, I think they said, which is way more than, like, second place on the list?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't care. It's
Well-
like, I don't give a crap about my field goal percentage.
Yeah, well,
I'll hit this.
When he hit that monster against the Jazz, it was on Colin Sexton. You said he was going to average the longest 3-point attempt distance in the NBA, right?
Yeah, right.
But that's for every single 3-point shot, right? Just because he heaves. He doesn't give a crap about percentages.
But that's why we have
22
to.
heaves.
That's why we have to have this rule, I guess, in place now, because he seems to be a handful of guys that think like him, but there's a lot of people that you see like they don't chuck it up.
Right.
So, and why are they not chucking it up? It really is weird.
Percentages.
It's just percentages.
That's it.
Yeah.
because they got contract clauses.
Yeah.
So Jokic 22. The question is
22.
who's gonna actually like catch Jokic? Maybe it's 26 if you include the playoffs. I don't know about that. But like he'll keep chucking them. Peyton Pritchard is a notorious half-court heave chucker as well. The question is like Kevin Durant get into the 20s now that it doesn't knock down his 3-point percentage? Does LeBron start taking these now that it doesn't knock down his field goal percentage? Probably yes. I bet. My guess would be that we see multiple players with 20-plus heaves this next coming season.
Okay. I mean, there's so many instances where it's an end of a quarter situation. Yeah. You're in the backcourt.
You got 4 chances a game, basically, depending on if you're on the court.
Yeah. Why 4 chances? Hold on.
4 quarters.
They don't count the fourth quarter. There's no heaves.
There's no heaves at the end of the fourth quarter? Why not?
I don't know. They consider it. I have no idea, but
That's
it's the
dumb.
first, second, and third quarter.
That's really dumb.
It doesn't count for the fourth. I'm telling you, that's what they said, at least in the
They're like,
release.
you gotta take it in the fourth quarter. Like, you don't if it's.
Yeah, I think that's
if
the
it's
thinking.
what if it's a 8-point game? You can now take a free chuck on a heave, and that does affect the bettors.
Yeah,
Prop pets. Interesting.
Owen Phillips of the F5 Substack, again, back to the G League, who did try this out last season. First time, heave rule. G League players attempted 575 eligible heaves. That was up from 373 the year before and 344 the year before that. So that's a pretty significant increase just by putting this rule in place that it's like, hey, don't worry, it's not going to affect your field goal percentage. Just let it fly. So. Cool. Can't wait to see the impact on Summer League and potentially the NBA. All right, let's get into some of your mail. Let's hit the beach.
You got the buzz, I got the rockets. You got the nuts, I got the chocolates. We got that chit chat down pat, blah blah blah. You got that certain special, je ne sais quoi. Let's go to the beach, baby.
Let's go to the beach. It's the only place to read your emails and tweets. We have not been on the beach in a long time, right? Been
Very
forever.
long.
So we got a bunch of great questions that you guys have sent in over the last little bit. First one, I'll get us started here. How do you do, fellow guys being dudes? With the addition of Dylan Brooks, are the Suns the most punchable face team in the league? Brooks and Grayson Allen are the Jordan and Pippen of the most punchable faces. Thanks for helping me stay an NBA sicko and making me laugh harder than I should at the same time. Been with y'all since I heard your podcast on Grantland back in the day. That's a long time ago. Turn up, love you guys, awesome. That's from Joe. So he is proposing here, TK, that the Suns, do they have the most punchable face team in the league when you add Dylan Brooks to
They
Grayson
got
Allen?
a couple of irritators, certainly. And Dylan Brooks and Grayson Allen, they're also in the mix, I guess, for Chris Paul's return, another guy who can get underneath people's skin. So yeah, they're in the mix. I think a full season of Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler playing together has to be in the mix as well. And then the stream team is going off. They're like, you got to include Mo Wagner if we're talking about most punchable faces in the league.
Okay.
So, he signed a small deal with the Magic to go there. I don't know if they have a duo for him. I don't know if Franz is quite as punchable unless you absolutely love sideburns and you're like, Mo and Franz, neither of them have sideburns. This is ridiculous. I'm going in. But another guy I would throw in the mix is Zach Collins. That guy has the most like evil 80s villain look of anybody in the league.
I see it. I think Chet Holmgren actually has a bit of a punchable face too. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about it. I won't pop him. But I do agree with Joe here. I mean, I'm always saying Dylan Brooks has the most punchable face, but Grayson Allen is right there. They're 1-2. So they're at the top of my list. Who did you add? Who else did you have on the Suns?
I said Jimmy and Draymond.
Oh, no, who on the Suns?
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul, if he's there, yeah. What, Devin Booker? I've heard some people say he's got a punchable face.
Some people don't like him.
Yeah. So anyway, it's the Suns, but unless you got another team.
I'm going with the team that Dylan Brooks just left, the Houston Rockets. Now, it's more of a punchable team than punchable face, like an individual face, because I think they just play a certain way where you hate them. I mean, you look at the stats in their one playoff series. They only played one playoff series, but they had so many guys have technical fouls. Amen Thompson had 2. Steven Adams had 1. Alperen Şengün, Tari Eason. And that's just one playoff series. That's the way they play. So you want to punch them.
But I don't look at this question as like they play hard or borderline dirty and I want to punch them. I just look at it like you just see someone, like you said, Zach Collins, you're like, I just want to pop that guy in the face.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. But it's impossible to have more than Dylan Brooks and Grayson Allen. So I had to.
No, I get you.
I had to throw a curveball on the answer. I mean, you also have the Rockets, Ime Udoka. People want to punch him.
He's like a player out there.
He
right?
wants to punch the most.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you got to punch the guy back that punches you. I mean, he got into it with LeBron. Of course, he almost won at a referee. That's a punchable team.
Okay, he wants to he wants to punch guys and he's got a fiery attitude. But like, take that part away. Which coach has the most punchable face?
Which coach?
Yeah,
The most punchable face.
yeah. Who's just the most irritating looking? I guess. It's not easy. What's the Wizards?
Honestly, I keep thinking about Chris Finch's hair. His hair is like too beautiful and thick to be an NBA coach.
So you want to punch him?
coach's hair should look like Tom Thibodeau, just hanging on by a strand.
Oh,
Chris Finch has he looks like a president.
Okay. Is he still? Who's the Wizards coach? Is it? It's not Brian Keefe anymore.
No, it's Unseld.
Yeah, Brian Keefe.
No, it's Keefe.
It's Keefe.
Oh,
replaced
when he
Unseld.
replaced Unseld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian Keefe has a punchable face.
I don't know what his face looks like.
Well, there you go. JD, throw it up. No, just kidding. Look up Brian Keefe. I think it's a little punchable.
I mean,
He's got a Sean Marks-ish face to me, but I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
he's like the least known guy in the NBA.
Yeah,
but,
you didn't even know he was coaching.
No, I know, because I always check. Brian Keefe is the coach.
I
there,
wasn't
right?
sure, to be honest. I was like,
Yeah,
did they
right.
change off of him? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But he's still there, I guess.
Yeah, it is a surprise.
I
I
have
think
1
people
year.
want to punch JJ Redick.
Ooh.
I mean,
good one.
Yeah, that's
Good
a
one.
punchable face.
Throwback, yeah. The original Grayson Allen, some people say.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, Bobby Hurley, I guess, but
Yeah, no, that's
it's
the
a
answer.
lineage.
Yeah, and also, I would say, guys who watch basketball whose wives happen to be watching would also want to punch JJ Redick because their wives would say, "Whoa, that's a good-looking coach right there."
wow.
Oh man, you admiring this guy? Danielle was watching and saw, "Oh, that's a good-looking coach." I guess
So that makes you want to punch him.
exactly.
Well, which is funny because I saw somebody, I did a thumbnail the other day, which included your face. It was one of our clips. And I saw a comment that said, Tass looks like, what did it say? It said like,
Mexican JJ Redick.
that's exactly what it
funny.
said. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah.
In the thumbnail, I saw it a little bit.
It's tan time.
It looks like a Mexican
Everybody's
JJ
tan.
Redick. I want to punch you now.
That's too good.
Oh, there's Brian
that's
Keefe.
good.
Come on. I don't know why. Sure, he's a really nice guy. But a little,
Yeah.
a little
looks nice, yeah.
Yeah, you sort of want to punch him.
Yeah, I tried to Google Brian Keefe, JD. I don't know if you had the same issue, but even though my computer is hyper optimized to feed me NBA results, I started Googling Brian Keefe and it came up Brian Kiefer, a
Yeah.
totally different guy. I don't know
Yeah.
who he is, but I'm
Same.
like, yeah,
Oh.
we got to get his search engine optimization up here.
Well, that just speaks to like nobody knows who Brian Keefe
Yeah.
is.
No, I have thought he was fired and rehired and fired and rehired. Have you guys happened to see the Netflix series Running Point, starring Kate Hudson? It's about basketball. It's just
Oh, I know what you're
That's,
talking
the-
about. Yeah.
The Lakers, right?
yeah,
fake
it's-
Lakers.
it's fake Lakers.
Didn't Joe Mandy write
The
it?
Waves.
Right?
He's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
consultant,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Consultant. Yeah, great.
when you said the Mexican JJ Redick, there's an employee who's I believe he's Mexican. I'm 99% sure he's Mexican. What's his name? Anyway, he's a star. That's all I got to say. Yeah,
He's a
nothing more,
star.
nothing less. Well, I just happened to watch it yesterday. I was watching the whole thing. I sucked it all in.
You watched the whole thing?
Fabrizio Guido, I guess is his last name. Why was his name pronounced Guido? Guido. But yes, I watched it yesterday. I was giving blood. I watched the whole thing.
Binge watched it.
Binge.
Wow.
That's what when you.
How much blood did you get
Yeah.
into?
Well, I gave platelets, which is a 2-hour plus process. So you got to
nice.
go
Yes,
back to back to
yes.
back because you can't. Usually, you're not supposed to touch the remote, so it just auto plays.
Oh,
So here you pick a series, or
Was it
you can
okay?
pick a movie. Yes,
Fine.
it gets fine. It was. We got by.
Okay, great.
I mean, it's not making good headlines by any means, isn't it? No one's really watched it.
No, it's
Didn't
the
leave a
Brian
big
Keefe
imprint.
of streaming right now.
The Netflix is it's an innings eating platform, right? I mean, you just got to watch stuff, right? That's what it feels like.
can, for
Yeah,
It's an 80s.
it is. I'm just going to produce something. Anyway, next one here. Hey, no Dunkaroos. This question comes from after watching Game 5 and seeing Chet Holmgren get bumped off a number of plays, including a dunk and Siakam fast break. As someone who has never bought into the Wemby hype for this same reason, does this also give you cause for concern that players like Chet and Wemby will ever have the strength to outmuscle opponents once it gets to the pointy end of each season? The pointy end of each season. I want to know where that saying comes from.
Must be an Australian thing.
I guess so, yeah,
Yeah.
because that comes from Wollongong, Australia, from Lorenzo Giacometti. So,
No concern. Not concerned at all with Wemby and Chet. No. We're not playing 1989 basketball here, 1990 basketball. We're not posted up guys and they're going to get like, no. These guys are ridiculously tall. I mean, my only concern is like stay healthy, sure, but that's like across the board really in the NBA. I have no concern with this.
I would say my only thing is that just like Chet Holmgren had Isaiah Hartenstein to take bumps, Wemby will always have a center on his
Okay,
roster as
yeah.
well who takes bumps from big guys. But I mean, when it came down to it, the Thunder played small ball, one big, and it was Chet, like you said, 5 blocks in Game 7. So yeah, he did get pushed around sometimes. That Siakam dunk is incredible. And there are definitely times when the skinniness of these guys can be an issue, but they make up for it in every other aspect of the game, and it becomes on your team to kind of fill in your little bits of weaknesses wherever they may be.
That's fair, but yeah, and to speak to that a little bit more, I want those guys in Wemby and Chet playing off ball anyway because of their incredible speed and wingspan and timing to come challenge and help out. Like, that's better. That's where they deter all these shots, where it's suddenly like the guy thinks he has an open lane or an open floater, and suddenly, oh my God, there's a 7-foot giant there, deterring or blocking my shot. So, but no, I mean, I don't think their career is going to be a concern here because they're light in the shorts. Remember that saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They got no ass, these guys.
No,
what do you think?
No, with Chet specifically, we saw him be super resilient in the playoffs. Even mentally, he didn't have a good first quarter, but didn't matter. He just kept fighting through it. So I think he's durable.
He didn't have a good first quarter offensively.
Yeah, exactly.
But he is never an issue defensively. He's a huge reason why they had one of the most historic defenses we've ever seen.
Yeah.
A lot of the credit goes to the Carusos and the wing guys and Dort and stuff, and rightfully so. But he's just much a part of all that defense.
Yeah. But for some guys, if you don't play well offensively, then it just affects your defense.
Yes,
You're not the same guy. Maybe it helped Chet Holmgren that he missed his first season and he got technically bigger going into his 21st year on Earth. Maybe he was 21 in year number 2, and he was out. Was the initial injury was it lower body? It was lower body.
This season?
No, his first injury.
He had a broken foot. Right?
Yeah, the foot, exactly, the hip this season, and so he wasn't doing cardio and stuff, but I imagine he got bigger. So I mean, maybe that helped. Maybe that helped mentally. Like you see guys around the league come in skinny. Zachary Sachet here in Atlanta, he's getting bigger. I see those workout videos. He's 20 now. He's getting bigger. I was talking about G.G. Jackson playing summer league. He's getting bigger. He's 20 now. Giannis was a baby, skinny and a baby when he got into the league. He got way bigger. God. So I think Homer's gotten bigger. I don't think that's a worry. And Wemby also not really a worry. I mean, he's a resilient dude. So
Shaolin temples and doing cool karate moves or kung fu moves and stuff like that. All right.
Next one here.
I'll take this one.
Yeah, you got it.
Hey, no dunks. Hey. The other day I was thinking about the Celtics retired jerseys and how number 9 has been worn by 2 beloved and accomplished players, Rajon Rondo and Derek White, and how neither of them are likely to have their jersey retired in Boston. Between them, they have 4 All-Star appearances, 2 championships, and 12 seasons. I think if they combine the players' names onto one jersey, so Rondo White, I guess here, maybe that would be enough to earn the number retirement. What other numbers do you think could be retired if you combine the 2 players' careers with the same franchise? Thanks for taking my question. That's from Paul Yee. The first part, do you think Rondo will not have his jersey retired?
I think that's correct.
Okay. So Paul has a point here.
Yeah, I think Paul is right. And sticking with the Celtics, I actually do think Jaylen Brown will have his jersey retired at some point. But if I was D Brown, I would say that was for me.
Brown,
number 7.
Yeah.
Same number. That's like my dad. My dad played college basketball, and he always would tell me my jersey got retired where I played. And then you would go and you'd see the picture, and it was for the guy that played right after him who broke the school record in scoring, but they retired that guy's jersey because it was my dad's number. So we would take a photo of him holding a plaque up in front of the guy's name.
Because there's no names on the back. Wow.
So that's what I would do if I was D Brown. I'd be like, yeah, it's mine. But that one will happen. I think Knicks number 8 should be retired for Latrell Sprewell and J.R. Smith. Same guy, just decades apart.
Wow, that's a good one. This was a fun question.
For sure.
It was a difficult question, I thought, but that's a decent one. I like that. Sprewell and J.R., just jam them together. Maybe they've done enough for the Knicks.
I'm going with the Pacers number 24 for Paul George and Rick Smits.
Rick Smits was 24?
Yeah, but they both changed numbers.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think it was 45.
Yeah, he changed numbers. He won 4 years with 24 and then 8 years with 45. But
oh, that is weird.
People won't remember that. Same thing with Paul George. 4 years with 24 and 3 years with 13 with the Pacers. Likely changed it because he came back from that injury, and that's when he changed it, when he snapped his leg. But that's why you put him in. The guy's leg snapped. He took you to 2 conference finals. He dunked on LeBron. I mean, there's some good stories there. Plus, Rick was a lifetime Pacer, and they don't really have anybody besides Reggie Miller that was solely an NBA player that's been retired. They literally just have one. This is the heartland of basketball in America. How can you not retire a number? It is weird, though, because, I don't know, if you want to get technical, Rick Smith's played so many years in this jersey. Paul George played so many years in this jersey, but just retire 24. Just do it.
Kyle Lowry is going to have his number 7 jersey retired by the Toronto Raptors when it's all said and done. Lowry coming back for his 20th season, playing with Philly. We just learned that. But if you're not convinced, right? If you're like, nah, he hasn't done enough, that's okay. Bargnani also wore number 7. And D. Brown. He wore number 7 for the
Nice,
Raptors.
man. That's mine.
And Keon Clark. And I think maybe Elvin Robertson, which actually maybe hurts this case because that guy sucks. But he was obviously one of the first Raptors players. He literally was on the first team. Scored their first basket.
That's good.
I think he had 30 in that opening game. Anyway,
Yeah.
Bargnani, I had forgotten that Kyle Lowry wasn't number 7 when he joined the Raptors. 3? He was number 3 for 2 years because of Bargnani. And then he took it. And then my only other one, how about this one? Number 7 for the Nets. Okay? You got Kenny Anderson's peak.
Yeah.
All right? That's the best Kenny Anderson we ever saw, and I loved Kenny Anderson. One All-Star game. You got post-Atlanta Joe Johnson, who did still make an All-Star team when he was with the Nets, and he was okay. I mean, he was on the decline. And then you got 2.5 seasons of Kevin Durant, who made 3 All-Star games, because remember he got traded right around the All-Star break when he was with the Nets, and he was an All-NBA pick. I think you add that all up, you got a pretty good player there. In KD, Joe Johnson, and Kenny Anderson.
And I think MPJ is wearing number 7.
There, he's going to only help the case.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. That's really good.
Okay. Good.
Hang it. Toughest question, though, is the Nuggets, number 15. Their 2 best players ever are number 15. Jokic will have his jersey retired. Duh. But they probably could have retired 15 for Melo before he went to the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's official. They won't retire it for Melo because he retired for Jokic. How do you retire it for Melo?
Teams have, don't teams
Double?
have, some teams must have the same number retired. They have
guess.
to, I think. You could, like, why couldn't you, I guess?
Yeah, of course you
Jokic
can.
gets it.
Yeah.
You do whatever type of jersey he wore, and then you just do the old Melo Nuggets jersey if you really wanted to. Who cares?
There are no rules.
There are no rules.
See,
The
that,
Heat
so
retired
true.
Michael Jordan. There are definitely no rules.
That's the funniest one, man. You look at the Heat's retired numbers on Basketball Reference, and Michael Jordan makes you laugh, but Dan Marino makes
That's
you cry.
so funny.
Hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Gotta hang his 13. Well, there you go. Dan Marino's is retired, and they'll probably retire 13 for Bam Adebayo at some point as well.
Wow. Yeah. No.
Tough
Imagine
choice.
they can't. They just
Yeah,
say, nope,
sorry.
13's already
That's
retired.
Dan's.
Dan
Yeah.
Marino's got it.
they have the USA team 13 retired for not
They
retired.
hung a banner for sure, though.
Acknowledged for Bam Adebayo's gold medal. But especially for guys like Kyle Lowry might be a Hall of Famer. If you're his team, you got to retire his number. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
got,
I mean, yeah.
like Kyle Lowry's going to get his number
Of
retired.
course.
But Paul
he
George-
might make the Hall of Fame, maybe. But he's definitely getting his jersey retired by
Yeah,
the Raptors. That's
but
a
but it's an interesting when a guy goes to the Hall of Fame. Like Paul George, it's debatable whether or not he'll be in the Hall of Fame. He definitely could be.
Yeah.
You want to retire his number. Like for the Pacers, he has nobody else really. I don't think that's going to retire his number. Like the Clippers are not, the Thunder are not.
Probably
The
not the
Sixers, it's doubtful, but you never know. So you want to claim him. I would.
maybe
Find the Pacers.
maybe iHeartRadio will.
Oh, yeah. Hang up his mic.
I don't know what platform he's on. I'm just pulling one out of my ass.
I think he's a wave boy.
Oh, he's a
isn't
wave
he? Yeah.
boy. He's a wave boy. You're right.
That's just the wave.
Wow.
Okay.
He's played for as many audio broadcast leaders as he has teams. I mean, because he wasn't a wave guy for a while.
How do you know that? Really?
He wasn't.
What was it?
I didn't see that wave
You told me
watermark.
He's an A-cast man?
He was no.
Oh, the boys know networks.
He's Wondery?
I don't know. But
I'm running out of networks.
as the wave was not the watermark
Volume.
for a long time.
Oh, it's a good one.
Volume.
Good one. Coward, right?
Yeah, that's
Nice.
right.
Really nice.
Okay, so you're saying we're retiring Hall of Fame jerseys. Doesn't that mean the Nuggets should retire Melo's 15?
It's fair point.
That's where he made his name.
I like that some teams are way more stringent with who they retire. Like you basically, this is news to me that you're saying the Pacers didn't have a lot of jerseys retired. Like you said, is it just Reggie?
No, they had previous guys like that were ABA guys,
Oh, okay,
and
well,
George
yeah.
McInnes overlapped ABA and NBA,
But not many is the point.
Yeah, just 2 ABA guys, and then 1 half ABA/NBA, and 1 solely NBA.
I mean,
yeah,
I got no problem with that.
I guess Carmelo also won't be retired by anybody else either.
No.
Like the Knicks aren't. The Knicks would be the one, maybe,
No.
maybe.
It's such a historic franchise. I don't think Melo can be retired.
Yeah, but the
personally. I don't
Celtics.
think
The Celtics are historic too. They'll retire anybody.
Come on.
It's getting.
They got
it's
historic
getting borderline.
players.
Yeah.
They do. But they have so many
Oh,
retired.
he's
numbers.
saying the cutoff is Rondo. Feels like it sort of is.
Yeah.
Okay, next one here.
That's a fun one.
Great question. Great question, Paul.
Greetings, No Dunks boys. I can't sleep, and I just realized that we just watched the second ever NBA Finals between two teams who are both based in their state's capital. Whoa. Have
Wow.
to double check this. Seems true to me. The only other time it's happened was the 76 Finals between Boston and Phoenix. This is meaningless, but interesting, at least to me. What's your favorite state or provincial capital? Thanks for including provincial.
Yeah.
Turn up, love you guys. Awesome. That's from Evan.
It blew my mind. This is
Yeah.
a great email. I'm
Yeah.
like, you read this, you're like, there's no way that's true.
Right.
And then you're like, then you go through it and you're like, there's not as many NBA teams in state capitals as you think, maybe at first, or at least,
Yeah.
I don't know, at least I thought.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
Los
you-
Like, I don't know
Angeles
how
ain't-
many there are, but there's not that many. Yeah.
Denver,
Yep.
Atlanta, Boston, OKC, Salt Lake City.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's limited because you'd think, oh, Chicago, Los Angeles, but they
Right,
are
right.
It's
capitals.
not always the
Right.
premier city.
Right.
Yeah. It's Sacramento in California. That's the weird thing. You get these randos.
Sacramento, yeah, they got a chance, but
Yeah.
it's the basketball team that's not doing it, you know? Not the
We need a
city.
Sacramento Atlanta finals. Hey, maybe. You never know. I guess the question is, do you have a favorite one, Trey? You are the American.
Do I have a favorite capital?
Yeah.
Atlanta's been good. It's been great. I would say Atlanta is my number one right now. Nashville's a beautiful place to visit for a weekend. Worst smelling fart of my life was in Nashville.
Can't wait to hear about it.
Was it you or
It was me. Yeah. So, like
Oh.
literally, this must have been summer of 2010. My buddy Bryce was getting married. We went to Nashville for his bachelor party, and the fart was so bad that we all left the room and went out for the night. And 15 years later, we still talk about the Nashville fart anytime everybody's getting together for a big trip.
the Nashville fart?
The Nashville fart.
Put it on a
Oh,
shirt.
it smells so bad. It was terrible, but a beautiful capital city.
I went to Nashville and survived the Nashville fart.
2010?
Oh, 2010. Nashville
Smells so
fart.
bad.
of
We're like, we
2010.
gotta leave for hours. But yeah, you know, it still lives a decade and a half later. And then Madison is a beautiful capital as well in Wisconsin.
All right,
Great
well,
city.
I
Great,
looked
great
this up. According to Wallet Hub, the best state capitals in 2025 were the following. And the way they did this was like, comparing all 50 of them across 48 key indicators of affordability, economic well-being, quality of life, education, healthcare, all these things. Madison, Wisconsin, number 2.
Yeah, nice.
Austin, Texas, number 1.
It's a good capital too.
Raleigh, North Carolina, Boise, Idaho, and Atlanta, Georgia coming in at number 5 on this list. So
Great
those are
list.
some great capitals. But my favorite capital by name, just to say, I love a Bismarck. Bismarck, North Dakota sounds cool
good
to
one,
me.
yeah.
Just fun to say and read.
Yeah.
You got a favorite?
Maybe that's why I like Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, that's good.
It's
one,
fun. Well, I definitely like Juneau, Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Great
cool.
name.
It's so weird that I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. There's some, like being Canadians, there are some state capitals that I will always remember, like Juneau, Alaska. I don't know why. A couple of these other ones, I don't know why. They'll like never leave my brain, but then there are other ones I have no clue. Like what's Maine?
Oh, that's the smallest town you'll ever think of. What's it called?
Like there are a handful I
wow,
have no
wow.
idea. He doesn't even know.
That can't be
Yeah.
right. That can't be right.
It's so tiny.
That's
It's got like
don't believe
20,000. Population is like 20,000. I can't remember the name.
This guy can tell me the,
You're right.
everything
You're
about
right.
the
It is
city,
very
but-
small.
Okay, well, whatever it is.
Augusta.
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 Should've known
That's
that.
in Georgia, man.
That's where the golf course.
Man, if you sporkled me up, I bet I'm going 40 for 50.
Oh, there's some you don't know too.
Oh,
Yeah, why?
They
It's
just
crazy.
slipped my mind in the
Yeah.
past.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time I was tested on it? Forever ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, give me another
Prior to
one
the
that
net.
you would draw a blank on. You think?
Okay, Oregon.
Eugene? No.
That's okay. Good guess. That's where the university is.
Yeah.
University of Oregon.
What is it?
They burn witches there.
Oh,
if it was
Salem.
Massachusetts. Yeah, Salem. Yeah, see, I would have been no.
No, I wouldn't have got that.
Here's what it seems like you need to have a classic capital city. You need to have a gigantic college there as well.
That helps.
That's true of Texas. That's true of Wisconsin.
That's a good point. Good point. Okay, come on, test us. Come on.
Okay, you want another one?
Yeah.
Vermont.
Oh, that's
Fun one to say. Fun one to say.
Fun one to see.
Yeah.
Bernie. That's fun to see. I don't know.
Wow, I got Farley.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
is that a place? Is Farley, Vermont?
Farley, Vermont. It's Montpelier, of
Oh
course.
man,
of course.
that sounds cool. Yeah.
Well, how about we're going to the great state of Nevada tomorrow?
Reno.
No.
Oh,
It's not Reno.
No. It's one of the most famous late night entertainers lived in this city.
Carson.
There you go, Carson
Carson
City.
City. Jesus, this is
that's
tough.
one I would
man.
get wrong. I
Keep
knew it was
going.
Carson.
We gotta get one. Come on.
You want to go till you get
man.
a tough one?
Yeah.
All right, here's a
gonna be here for a
potentially gettable one. Rhode Island.
It's no. Well, I was gonna say a place in Connecticut, so it's definitely not that.
I know this one too, but I forget it.
Oh, give us what initial it starts with.
Which one did I just say?
Rhode Island.
P.
Providence.
Providence.
We should have got that
We
one.
should have got
Yeah, that one I
one.
thought was gettable.
Oh, come on.
Okay, you want another one?
Yeah.
Michigan.
Lansing.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, we're back, baby. That's a tough one though.
Michigan State, I think, is in Lansing.
Yeah. Helps.
College.
All right.
I do want to tell just a quick story which corresponds to your fart story. Because
Please, yes.
when
Back
we
to
were in
Nashville.
Miami
Okay.
for No Season Required tour, we were in a hotel called The Sense. It was called Sense.
Okay.
And I actually remember a fart that went off in the elevator. Now, unfortunately,
went off.
that went off. It's like a bomb.
Like a fire alarm.
Yeah.
Somebody left it there. Could have been anyone.
Yeah, it was a fart. It correlates really well because it was called Sense, and somebody
Right.
literally left a fart in an elevator
can
where
pic-
we
I
had
can
to
picture
evacuate. Everybody had to evacuate this elevator because it was a very unfortunate scenario. Miami, not the capital of Florida. You'd think that for a while.
Tallahassee.
Tallahassee. It's one
Florida
of those.
State, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Anyway.
then if we're telling fart stories, because we're going to Vegas tomorrow. The mysterious van fart.
Oh, yes.
Still
Which is
unknown, man.
unknown
Still
mystery
unknown.
to this day. We were all in a giant van. There were a couple other people unnamed right now, and there was an epic fart. No one would take what's the word? Credit, I guess.
Blame?
Yeah,
Credit. Either way you want to say.
And we all have our thoughts. There's a lot of different theories on who let the fart go. The mysterious van fart, but
Anyway.
yeah. Next question here. G'day, lads. I've been listening and watching daily since the starters began. My only ever go-to podcast for anything NBA. We love to see that. I'll never be convinced that the top 5 jingle is not Trey saying top 5, top 5, top 5, despite knowing I'm 100% wrong, no matter how many times I've heard it. So what is one hill you will always die on despite knowing that you're wrong? Cheers. That's from Nick, and you're not going to believe this. Nick, also from Wollongong, Australia. 2
That's messed up.
emails from Wollongong. Do they know each other? Lorenzo and Nick? If not, I hope you guys meet up at some point. Good question, though. One hill you're always willing to die on despite knowing you're wrong. Who wants to get started here?
Well, I always say that I'm actually doing something when I put my car in neutral, but I'm not really doing anything. But it feels like I'm doing something. It feels like I'm driving. I think I'm going back to my driving. I'm driving my standard days. My driving my stick. Okay. And so it feels cool to put it in neutral. It feels like you're actually driving. Like whenever, especially here in Atlanta, you get on a hill, you can put it in neutral.
You're just popping it into
What
neutral.
are you doing?
You're just popping it into neutral.
That's mostly.
It's an electric car. What are you doing?
I know, or an automatic car.
Don't you have kinetic brakes? Like, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Oh, it
It's-
disengages it.
Yeah, it disengages it. And that's the actual scary part about it. It's a little dangerous if you put a car in reverse. Now that we all have generally cameras, it'll give you a beep beep. Hey, you're gonna run something over.
Yeah.
But when you're in neutral, you can run anything over.
I see.
Forward or backwards.
Yeah,
doesn't
there'll
matter,
be so
All
it's
about gravity.
It's stupid. It's stupid to do it, but it just feels like you're actually operating a vehicle. Like you're doing something.
How often do you do this?
Often?
Really? Wow.
It's scary. I shouldn't be doing it. I shouldn't be doing it.
I
But
still
it's fine.
remember when we went to Memphis, we were driving home and we were so low on gas, but we wanted to make it to a Buc-ee's and you were putting it in neutral down every hill. It was awesome, man. You're like,
we saved
I was like, no, we could go to anyone. You're like, nah, we got it. It says we got 9 miles. I'll just put it in neutral.
Great
Go
call.
down the
Nice
hill
callback.
and then put it back into drive.
That was
And it
also
worked.
yeah,
It did
it
work.
worked. Yeah, also the time we took the wrong route to get to Memphis.
getting
That's why we had to save the gas on the way back. Do you ever do the thing like I've never seen a person do this. If you go past the drive on your automatic where it's like you can go side to side as if you're shifting gears.
I'd
Have you
never
ever
do
done
that.
that?
No.
That seems like too high level for me. I don't want us fools using that.
Yeah, whenever a car will tell you go into L. L
Is that what that thing is? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
like a
Half
tap
the
shift.
things what in my car do.
No. You can cut that part off for me. It ends at D.
I don't need it. What about you here, TK? What is a hill you're willing to die on despite knowing that you're wrong?
I think the For You tab on Twitter is better than the following tab. I know I'm wrong on that one. And sometimes you're literally dead wrong on that one. You'll see some
Yeah.
things you don't want to see.
No.
But sometimes you see things you wouldn't have seen.
Right.
And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
worth it for me.
Okay.
People
I
are
like it.
getting paid on Twitter for doing that, for being those type of
Sure.
accounts.
Right. Right.
You make money on Twitter.
Oh, I
now.
know.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Well, you said didn't you have a tweet went viral? You said
Yeah, 2 Garys.
yeah, but
couple
you
of Garys.
you don't make money on Twitter.
No,
None of us do.
No,
I don't think,
no.
do we? Maybe our No Dunks account could, in theory. No, maybe not. Maybe not.
And we're not that.
We got
type
the
of
check mark,
account.
but we don't have
don't
making
get-
money.
We don't get the eyeballs.
JD, do you have an answer for this? If you want to jump in,
I don't know. Pickleball's a sport. I'll die on that hill. I know I'm wrong, but am I wrong? Is darts a sport? I don't know.
Good
They
question.
put it on the sports channels on TV.
You're right.
It helps your case for sure.
Okay.
yep.
All right. I think Nick is technically right because I remember recording Trey saying top 5, top 5, top 5.
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah.
Because we were screwing with people.
Right.
Were we not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there were both versions
Yes.
of the top, like Drake top 5, but then a Trey top 5. They sound eerily similar.
Yes.
And so I think at one point you would like pick and choose which one.
Yeah.
So but then we were always saying it's not Trey. It's not Trey.
Right. But it might be Trey
But it
because I can't remember which one we're using. Now.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
Right.
I
right.
think it's me.
I think
the
it's
most
you,
recent
too.
one
I
we
do
heard
too.
was me. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I think we started with the Drake one, and people are like, "Oh, that sounds like Trey."
Yeah.
And I recorded one.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was 10 years ago at this point, whenever that song came out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Nick, you might be. You're not going crazy. Maybe it might be TK.
Wow, that's something.
Can you
saw on
play?
Twitter.
Do you have it right now,
Yeah, let me
JD?
see if I can find it.
Do you want to play it? While you find it, I'll give my answer to this. Again, a hill I'm willing to die on, despite knowing that I'm probably wrong. I definitely feel like the freedom of speech meme guy here standing
Okay.
up. The Grand Budapest Hotel is Wes Anderson's worst movie.
Ooh.
It's his worst, and it is generally ranked as his best. I'm a big Wes Anderson fan. I do not like that movie.
Well, Rushmore is his best.
I
far.
think there's
By
like
a
5,
lot.
6, 7 better.
Yeah.
I think all of them are better. I do not like
don't
Grand
like that
Budapest.
one?
No, I don't. I don't know what it is. I've given it a couple tries. I don't know why. It's so strange. It has incredible actors, of course. People love it.
Too
But
much
I have so many other-
whimsy for you?
Well, that's not a problem with other Wes
There ain't
Anderson
no
movies.
whimsy
But
compared
I'm
to
a
some of the
huge
other ones.
Rushmore. I'm a big
Yeah.
Royal Tenenbaums. I even love Bottle Rocket. But anyway, I know I'm in the wrong there. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
Ray Fiennes
like
is
it
awesome
too.
in it.
Yeah,
You see
well, that's a
Phoenician
big
Scheme
part.
yet?
I haven't.
That's good.
Oh, you saw it? Nice. You are the movie man.
Seeing them all.
Seeing them all.
Now that my kids are older, like I can go to movies now and I can watch movies. It's great. Like they start with a story and they know how it's going to end. You only got to watch it for 2 hours
right.
rather than 6 hours, and then you're like, okay, let's wait 2 years for the next part of this story to come out.
Right.
You can watch a whole movie.
Do you?
You can eat some innings that way.
Yeah. Where are you ranking
Netflix
the
knows, man.
Phoenician Scheme? Like you're putting it somewhere in the middle, basically. Like not the best, not the worst.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just good.
Yeah.
Yeah. A nice good one.
Which
Yep.
are a lot of his movies, which I do like Moonrise Kingdom, Fantastic.
I
Mr.
liked
Fox.
it better
Like, I like
than
all those.
I liked it better than Moonrise Kingdom. I didn't like it as much as Grand Budapest.
Did you watch Asteroid City?
Yeah. Oh, I really like Asteroid
like that
City.
one,
That'd
yeah.
be in my top 3 probably.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you go.
All right, here's top
yeah,
five.
here we go,
Here's
here we
top
go.
five.
Top 5, top 5, top 5.
That's Trey.
Yeah.
That was me for sure. Top 5, top 5, top 5.
Yeah, that's true. 100%.
Do you have the other one?
No.
Oh,
That's That's what I'm saying. Like
It's gone.
I only have the one version now.
Yeah.
And I think I kept the Trey version.
Would have been amazing if there were versions where you had like it's Drake and Trey, like layered.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
back and
yeah,
forth.
Or that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll work one up for the new season.
Great.
All right,
Yeah,
more
one
question?
more. Why not?
Yes,
Why not?
It'll be quickly. Hi, guys. I'm a Wizards fan from the UK. I know, depressing. Who used to watch a lot of games until after COVID when my work situation changed. Now I only keep up with the news and the occasional game. I'm wondering what you think is must-watch material for me from the last 5 years. Could be great games or important games. Anything that you feel is a must-watch since the bubble. Thanks as always. That's from Jack M. From the UK. What can I watch?
That's tough.
We did have this up on our Twitter account asking, hey, what are the most memorable games or must-watch games from the past, 5 years or so? A lot of people were just saying, just go watch a lot of the Pacers games from the playoffs.
Yep.
A lot of great games. A lot of incredible games against the Knicks and the Bucks and all that.
Which one would you pick from the Pacers comebacks?
Ooh. I mean, I guess I'm a little biased because we had a fun viewing experience in the New York bar, but that game one?
Yeah.
Yeah, game one
was
in
monstrous.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Pacers Knicks. Yeah.
It was like the biggest playoff comeback in history, right?
Yeah, was it?
Yeah, that was insane.
970 games. Was it? Now teams that are up 14 in the last 2.5 minutes are 970-1 in NBA history.
Right, yeah.
That was crazy.
That was
That was
yeah.
insane.
Came
That
out
was
of
the
nowhere.
Aaron Nesmith game, and then obviously the Halliburton. Like how many emotions did Knicks fans or everybody go through in like that one shot where it's like where you think he misses the shot, hey, we win. No, it goes a million feet in the air, drops. You think you lose because you think it's a 3 at first, and then oh no, his foot's on the line. We're going to overtime, and then oh maybe we have a chance is what Knicks fans are thinking, but you didn't after they lost like that, or at least got it into overtime and they did lose. So that's a good one.
It was so great. And if it's a movie, you get an intermission in between the fourth quarter and overtime. So it's awesome.
I ran to the restroom in that bar.
Had a little intermission.
Yeah. And it came back. I remember I told you, I said, the vibes in here have changed.
Not good.
No Knicks fans is feeling confident right now. Do you have any games on your list?
Yeah, I mean, I added a lot. First one I added was Game 4, 2022. Steph Curry goes for 43.
Good one.
That's like the end of up to the 2020s era. Curry dominating his last huge moment, put him over the top, really solidified his legacy. I saw more than one person responded to us saying you got to watch the Bulls come back against the Lakers this year where Giddey hits the half-court shot to win it. Crazy game.
Crazy.
I don't know if it necessarily goes down in history like these other ones will.
Probably not.
I would also watch Giannis scoring 50 points, 14 boards, 5 blocks in Game 6 of the 2021 Finals. But I think the most important game to watch from 2021 was Nets versus Bucks, Game 7, second round. This is when Kevin Durant steps on the line. He has both feet on the line. I don't think I remember that. I remember it as being like the smallest smidge of one toe on the line to tie the game rather than win the game. Because they go into overtime and the Bucks ended up winning.
Well, you said his other foot's on the line?
They're both on the line. Yeah.
Interesting.
His left foot steps more on the line and his right foot does have basically just a toe. But man, this is like a crazy game for KD. 53 minutes he plays, 48 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Giannis has 40 and 13 in this game. And it's like one of the all-time sliding doors moments, especially in this time frame that we're asking about here, because that turns into Giannis's first title. He might have left the Bucks after that if they end up losing there. That's also Kevin Durant's best chance at a title since losing Golden State. Maybe things changed differently if Harden sticks around. If Kyrie Irving, he wasn't playing in that series at that point, but they had a chance. I went back and watched some of the shows. We're talking about this is the NBA Finals. Whoever wins this series is going to go on and win the championship. That's what ended up happening.
Yeah, that's
and
a
it
big
could have
sliding
been
doors moment.
Kevin Durant. If Durant pulls off that championship, his reputation is a lot better today. We're talking about top 10 all-time guy with a lot of credit for that championship because Harden is barely able to run around at that point.
Right.
Netflix needs to make a movie about that series in general because Kyrie Irving also got injured when the Nets were up 2-1 in that series. He went into the middle for an offensive rebound and Giannis got underneath him. That is a great moment to analyze over and over. And people wonder, did Giannis slide under him on purpose? So Kyrie goes out. You also have James Harden limping. You didn't have a Brooklyn Nets team. And then the guy steps on the friggin' line. They were up 2-1 in that series. And all of a sudden, Giannis wins the championship.
I believe, I didn't listen to it. I saw like clips or headlines going around. I think Kevin Durant was just on the Mind the Game podcast with LeBron and Nash. And I think they talk about at least that team, because Nash was the coach, right, with KD. So I'm sure they get into it a little bit and maybe the what if of it all. But that's a good one. It's a good one. I mean, if I'm looking at just this finals, like Game 4 was pretty damn awesome, where it's like, holy crap, like, I mean, are the Pacers going to go up 3-1 and then sort of SGA with the takeover? That was just great. The whole finals was honestly amazing, like competitive games and obviously great defense and stuff like that. The only other one I'll add to the list, it's not an NBA game, but you would have to watch the gold medal game between USA and France from the 24 Olympics. Like, to me, that's like one of the most iconic games of all time to me. I mean, I know it's international, different than the NBA, but what a moment when Curry catches fire and places going bonkers and France looks like they might do it. That was so good.
Yeah.
That whole tournament was amazing.
Yeah, I wrote down Steph Curry Game 4 in the 2022 finals. Not only was it his best finals game of his career, but also you could call it his best series, best finals of his career. He was just so good. And Game 4, he saved them. And the Celtics were up 2-1 in that series. He comes back and wins that thing to have a 43-point game in the finals. One of the best players here of our era, obviously. That was very special. People will say, well, he had a better game against the Raptors. He had a 47 against the Raptors. It was not the same because everyone was injured. And he was having a box thrown out at him, by Nick Nurse. So that one was serious. That was special, especially Steph Curry. That was the culmination of his entire career, the coronation of his entire career, to win a finals like that after, the whole Kevin Durant thing. That was his best finals. Yeah.
It's tough to keep track to me of like what year it was when so and so hit crazy shot. Like what year was Lillard's bomb when he said goodbye to Paul George? Okay, so that's like doesn't make the cut here. Yeah, is it?
I think so. It was Paul George's
You
first.
can tell me it's 4 years
Yeah,
ago.
Paul George signed with the Clippers in 19. Isn't that right?
That sounds right.
And he was the Thunder.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it must be prior to the bubble.
It must be.
17
It
or
must
18,
be.
yeah.
I mean, that would if we could go back further, that's an awesome ass moment with the photo when he's looking at the camera.
very cool.
He's got the wave and bye. Great questions here.
One thing I did struggle with, like Nikola Jokic has been the best player of the 2020s. He's won most of the MVPs, got a championship at the peak of his powers. I don't know which game I would say you should go watch this one. His highest scoring game, 61, 10, and 10. Came in a loss.
Right.
He did have a 31, 21 rebound, 22 assist game in a win this season. Or would you go with like the game in the finals, Game 3, when him and Jamal Murray both have 30-point triple-doubles and dominate? I don't remember that being like the most thrilling game.
No.
Some of his best moments have come on like buzzer beaters, specifically against the Lakers.
Yeah.
That was the
that's what I
Lakers
would
and not
have.
the War. Yeah.
The shot over Anthony Davis.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. That was.
But it
pretty
is a
awesome.
second round game. But still, I can't even remember the rest of that game. But I'm taking it because of that one shot.
It's a good point, though. Like you said, he's been the best player for like obviously the last 5 or 6 years. Like, which one do you pick? But this is how he gets all his stats. It's just like this crazy accumulation, and then like, he's sort of like he's not dunking on anyone or outside of the odd, I guess, game winner. I mean, they had some crazy, wins as well. They had that Game 1 win. The Aaron Gordon game is maybe on the short list, at least from this season, in Game 1 against OKC, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Okay, we'll call it there. Great questions. Keep them coming. NoDunks@theathletic.com. We'll hit the beach a lot more here in the summer. You can tweet at us at NoDunksInc. You can drop them in the YouTube comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. We are off to Vegas tomorrow. So no show tomorrow. Jumping on a flight. We do have a live show. We're going to meet right there. Right at that particular spot on that very ugly carpet.
We gotta find that specific.
Do you think it still looks
gotta
like this?
find
This
it.
might be an old photo for all I know, but this looks pretty dated. But Mandalay Bay, Friday. Doors at 3:30. Chairs departing to allow you through at 3:30 local time on Friday. Hope to see you out there. We're gonna have a blast. We have something really fun in store for that, and that will get flipped into a podcast, hopefully a YouTube show as well. Also going to have a show on the weekend from the Thomas and Mack Center is the plan. So we'll have a couple shows coming up later this week. Who are you most excited to see? It's Summer League. Doesn't have to be a player. Could be someone in the media. Could be Penn and Teller. You got anyone you pumped to see that you maybe only run into in Vegas? JD, jump in if you got something.
That we only see in Vegas. Well, will we see Robbie Calland?
Yeah, you
I
might.
was excited to see Robbie Calland.
I'm excited to see the hello and welcome guys.
Oh yeah, nice.
They-
Yeah,
oh,
we
yeah,
saw
they're
them
there,
last
yeah.
year.
They're
Yeah.
usually there.
They are
I love
there,
those
for
guys.
sure.
Our guy Jerome and Will and Alex. So add them to the list. I'm sure we'll run into them. Though I did check. The Raptors play the Bulls
Oh,
on Friday.
okay.
Not great timing for us. I think they play at 5.
When the doors open.
And our
Not
show
great.
is at 4.
Not great.
So
Too bad.
that's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And then I was like, oh, that's okay. I'll probably catch a Raptors game, Summer League game on Saturday. I don't think they play until like Sunday again. And we're off. Not good for us, Tess.
You can
Not catching
stay
a
longer.
No, thank you. No. I have a problem usually leaving Vegas.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm the guy that always missing my flight out of Vegas. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
All right, let me Vegas you this one.
'Kay.
Over or under 0.5 NBA players we see in the pool.
Ooh.
What'd you set the line at?
Will we see
0.5.
one?
Have-
0.5.
We've only seen one in the history of our appearances there, right?
Yeah, it's a
Jaden Ivey,
Jaden Ivey, yeah.
and we've been there so
At
many
the
times.
pool or in the pool? Because that's different. We saw Mark Cuban once at the pool.
That's true.
Oh, I
That's true.
forgot
Saw
about
Mark
that.
Berman once at the pool.
We did.
He's wearing a Drew Brees jersey. Never forget that.
Mark,
He's wearing a Drew Brees San Diego Chargers jersey.
This is what Summer League's all about.
Yeah, okay, I will say on the pool deck counts.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it doesn't have to be body and water.
I'm going to say not this year. You're probably right.
Yeah.
They're
8 to 1
they're not
odds, they're
staying
saying.
where we're staying. I mean, I don't know what pools we're going to be at, but hey, we're not going to, like, what? I mean, JD, you're a big pool guy.
Yeah.
Have you figured it out when you're going?
Well, yeah.
Like,
in
we
the
fly,
mornings,
we fly
I
tomorrow,
guess,
Thursday.
Yeah. Mhm.
We have our show on Friday.
Yeah.
We have another show on Saturday. And we leave on Sunday. I mean, there's time within there. But
I mean, Friday morning
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that seems like going to be the
mid
Bamboo
to
Boys
late.
on Friday
Bamboo
morning.
Boys, yeah,
Okay.
for sure. And maybe Saturday, maybe depending.
Don't worry, it's going to be hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking sunny?
Hot and sunny.
Looking sunny, 43 degrees Celsius, about 110 Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Not a cloud in the sky. Don't worry, it's a dry heat. Yeah, this is going to be ridiculous. Can't wait to get sick. You know, you go from 110 Fahrenheit into 55 in the arena, freezing cold. Can't wait. No, we are pumped. So hopefully we'll see some of you there. And if not, I hope you guys enjoy the videos and podcasts that we release over the next couple days. All right, till then, Clipper Bro!
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
thanks for joining us, and remember, Carson City is the capital of Nevada.
Yep.
Totally forget that.
Hey, I
Every
was getting
single time.
crap yesterday or Monday's show for how I say Las Vegas. Do I say it wrong or weird?
Say it again.
Las Vegas.
You say,
I
I
say-
think Vegas more than Vegas, which people are more used to.
Which one do I say?
You say Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Right. And how do you say it if you were
Vegas. As if it were V-A-Y.
Vegas.
Real
Vegas.
New Orleans, New Orleans.
It's akin to how you pronounce pasta, I feel like. Pasta.
Pasta.
Bagel. Why you
No,
say
no, you're
bagel?
doing a that's Matty. Oh, I don't do it. I say bagel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I used to say pasta. But you're right.
That
You're
was
right.
in the past.
Oh, nice. All right. We'll see you in Las Vegas. Race the day, people.